If you've ever wanted to paint but didn't know where to start, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to show you step by step how to create your very first magical forest, even if you've never painted before. I've listed all the colours below in the description so they're easy to find. So get cozy, grab a cuppa, and let's make something magical. We're going to start by creating a very bright centre using our yellow and our white. It's a little bit of a trust the process, this one, just building up lots of layers. Working from our palest, brightest colours, making them richer, warmer and darker as we go. The secret to this painting is cheap makeup brushes, blusher brushes or small eyeshadow brushes and fan brushes, but keep watching and I will show you how to use these to create something truly magical. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, we're just building up step by step, and that's exactly how every painting starts. We're using our mop brush and just smooshing it onto the page. That is one of my favourite terms for this technique, and you will notice that the shape of the bristles naturally leave a foliage or branch or plant-like effect. All you need to do is tap, tap, tap and build up those colours, starting with your bright white and yellow centre, moving into your richer oranges and reds, and then on to pale bluey greens, finally coming to the edges where we have a dark blue and dark green just to create a bit of extra depth. Don't be scared to keep your centre very, very pale and bright and make your edges very, very dark. That's what helps create something extra magical. If you're sitting there thinking, I can't do this, just keep going with me. You might be surprised how this comes together. Next, we're going to bring these dark edges to life. So I want you to use a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow, and just the blue-green paint that is on your brush. Still just tapping in and smooshing that blusher brush or mop brush onto the page creates these perfect little highlights in the foliage as if the light is shining on it. I'm also sneaking in little hints of rose and purple and paler pinks that might just hint at some flowers amongst the foliage. Next, we're going to grab a smaller, more detailed brush, just a standard little round brush like you might find in any beginner acrylic painting set. And we're just going to go back to those pale colours that we started with and just use that brush to make little lines, squiggles and tiny little marks. They don't need to be perfect, they don't need to be exact branches or exact leaf prints, they just need to be a little hint of some extra detail hiding amongst the plants. This is the fun part. Just relax into it. Don't overthink about it. Don't think about exact placements or exactly what you're putting down. Just create little squiggles, little lines, little marks, little dots, little dashes. Any shape will do. Building from that paler centre back out to our warm, rich orangey reds. Hopefully you can already see that just by smooshing and tapping our mop brush onto the page, we have created this fantastic background. And now we're just going in with a few little extra dots and dabs and marks to create a little bit extra magic and a little bit extra depth. But I'm about to show you something that is going to take this from feeling like texture to a magical fantasy forest. Moving to those darker areas on the edge, we are going to mix up a really, really pale yellow, so complete contrast to those dark blues and those dark greens. We are using lots of white and a little bit of lemon yellow here, and we're just adding in a few more wiggles, a few more lines, a few more dots and a few more dashes, literally just printing your little round brush and seeing what marks it could make. And by adding these on top of those really dark, rich areas, we are making it look like that bright center is spilling out of the painting and onto the edge of the plants around it. And your painting doesn't have to look exactly like mine. That is the most wonderful thing about creating an art. Everybody will develop their own style. Each artwork is unique and everything you create is true to you. I've been painting for well over 6 years, but this is exactly how I started. Just one little step at a time, figuring it out as I went. And I started in my 40s, so this was all very new to me, and look how far I've come. I truly believe you can come this far too. I'm just continuing to dot in different shades of green down into these dark blue areas. But remember, don't cover up all your dark areas and don't cover up all your light areas. One of the best tips that I can give you is to keep areas of your painting very, very bright and keep other areas very, very dark. So as you can see here, I've actually gone back in with my dark blue and my dark green, and I'm just making sure that I'm not losing all of those dark shadowy areas, as those areas help make the brighter areas pop. Now I have dried that off with a hairdryer, as for this next stage we want our painting to be completely dry. Grab yourself a fan brush. Again, you can get these cheap as makeup brushes. Get yourself some really nice, clean, fresh water and mix in a little bit of white paint. What you want to do is end up with a really runny, almost translucent, thin white paint mixture. Then starting at the center of your painting, you are going to very lightly, with a light touch, brush out the way from the middle, creating my signature magical sun rays. To add another layer of magic to this piece, I want you to go even paler with your highlights. So mix in more white to those yellows and those greens, and more white into those pinks and purples. And anywhere that your magical brush strokes from your fan brush touch your painting, I want you to add an extra little pop and highlight of a bright color. And again, just to keep the piece balanced, if you think you have gone too bright and you have too many white areas, then it is absolutely okay to dot back in some of those darker colors. I absolutely loved how these pinks and purples on the edge were beginning to look like beautiful wildflowers. So I went a little bit mad and I added loads of extra shades of rose, pink, purple, and the odd little fluffy white highlight too. I truly believe that anyone can paint this, including you. So just take your time, trust the process, and trust yourself. Just relax, play, create, and you will make something magical. And if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a comment letting me know what you'd love to paint next. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.